Gorongosa National Park in Mozambique is known as one of Africa's greatest wildlife restoration stories. In 2008, the park had only 10,000 large animals. Today, over 100,000. But the Gorongosa project isn't just about rewilding this iconic wilderness. Inspired by the shared vision of Mozambique's former president, Joaquim Chissano, and Nelson Mandela, there's a deep commitment that the park should benefit the local people. The park provides over 600 jobs in conservation, science, tourism, and human development. Our community health workers reach over 100,000 vulnerable people every year. Our sustainable agriculture projects, like growing coffee on Mount Gorongosa, improve the incomes and the lives of farm families. Mandela was right when he said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So we build new schools, support teachers, and run many after-school programs like the girls' clubs. We're working to keep girls in school so that they can have the same opportunities in life as the boys. And every year, we bring thousands of local children on safari in the park so they can reconnect with their precious natural heritage. Some of them may choose to become part of our team, so we provide many different training courses and internships. Students can even study for a master's degree in conservation biology in Gorongosa. We are showing the world an example of what a national park can be. We are Gorongosa.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Greg Knecht with the Nature Conservancy. There are quite a few people in this room that have a connection to Florida, and following two of my heroes, Nick Wiley and Shannon Estenos, is a pretty big act to follow. And so we're going to get away from Florida, and in fact, we're going to go to a whole nother continent, a whole nother country, and talk about an amazing place. So, Gabby, it's nice to spend a little bit of time with you. We're going to show some amazing photographs. But like I said, I think you actually came from the furthest from anybody in the room, from Mozambique. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Hello,
You're good.
My name is Gabi. I'm from Mozambique. Mozambique is located in Africa continent, southeast coastline of Indian Ocean. And I am from Gorongosa village. It's a town pretty close to Gorongosa National Park. And I'm a Boise State student in Idaho, majoring in business administration. So I'm here, very happy to be here and share our stories with you.
So Gabby, the Gorongosa National Park was established in the 1960s. I was barely around then, and there's no way you were around then. So tell us what it was like back in the 60s for Gorongosa.
Well, Gorongosa National Park, first of all, Mozambique was colonized by Portugal, so our official language is Portuguese. And in the 60s, first Gorongosa was a hunting reserve. In 1960, it became a national park. And as you see, this is an old picture where we have like lions chilling, like they look very lazy anyway. And you can see the tourists, and it was one of the greatest national parks in Africa at that time.
So lazy lions, I assume, means they're not out looking for food because there's plenty of other wildlife around to eat, right? Yeah. So what happened to change, Gorongosa to during the days you can recall?
So we had a colonialism for Portuguese established 505 until 975, when Mozambique earned its independence. And 2 years later, 977, we had a civil war for 16 years. And some of the war took places in the park. You can see the old track, some signs of mine, and everything destroyed. So it was a hard moment. Elephants, buffaloes, rhinos, all of those kind of big five animals were used for ivory. But small animals, they were used for food because it was a difficult moment. People had to feed themselves to survive. So it has a bit of turbulent history.
So huge impacts to wildlife, yes. Big impacts to people, of course. And we'll get back to that in a minute. But since we're at the Florida Wildlife Corridor Summit, tell us a little bit about the Gorongosa corridor.
Of course. So we also have what we called the Greater Gorongosa, where it starts from a mountain, all the way from the mountain to the mangroves, and we see different animals, big, small, the insects, birds, communicating the miracle of existence in the nature. So we can see we have a Mount Gorongosa close to my village, and the last Marumeio was a hunting concession, and we included in the Gorongosa National Park. It's close to coastal line, so you can see mountain, midland, all the way to the sea. We are connecting because there are animals migrate, like leopards, buffalo. They go all the way from the north, south, east. Birds as well, just migrating.
And we might get back to that hunting concession here in a minute, but tell us a little bit more about those landscapes.
Of course. So in Gorongosa National Park, so we have a Mount Gorongosa that you can see. This is a clear picture. So Gorongosa Mountain is a sort of like a lung for Gorongosa National Park because we get water, especially now it's a dry season. We get a lot of water in the park because of this rainforest. That's why we are protecting the rainforest. We also have the Rift Valley where human started. So the Rift Valley ended right in Gorongosa National Park, and we have a paleontology project that they're doing studies of if we see the bones of first humans, so the park and Mozambique will be part of the history of humanity. We also, as well, Zambezi Delta, you can see there are animals, they have those white things are white egrets. We also, on the coastline on Marumeio, we can see the coastline really close to the sea. That's why we are connecting. As I said, we are protecting because it's meaningful. We have animal migrating, and we have these species of bird, insects, and plants that are endemic to Gorongosa National Park.
So you mentioned the Civil War and the impacts it had on wildlife and people, essentially decimated the wildlife. So talk about where things are now.
Of course. So now we have buffaloes, plenty of them. We have painted wolf. We have our lion population that will grow fast, and they're sharing love all the time. Our beautiful rainforest, Mount Gorongosa, and as well, of course, Sheringoma Plateau. Can see, breathtaking, I know.
So yeah, I want to pause on this because I think this is one of the most amazing slides I've ever seen, and you kind of have to look at it for a minute to understand the scale. And Shannon mentioned Alaska. I can't think of a whole lot of places, if any, in North America where you can look that far and not see some sort of signs of humans. So this to me is just unbelievable. But and we've talked about the landscape and the critters, if you will, but that's only half of the story. Talk a little bit about about people and how they fit into Gorongosa National Park.
We are now, I can say, in the 60s, the way National Park were viewed, only taking care of a landscape, the trees and animals. But Gorongosa National Park is showing something different, that we need people. We need to understand their values, their cultures, how they used to live. Like, I live in Idaho. There are 5 tribes. Each tribe, they have a knowledge of salmon fish, the buffalo, and that part of a culture helps to keep animals and sustainably living together. So we learn as well with the people in Gorongosa National Park that we need people to work together. That's why our national park is doing all the best.
And this is your village.
Yeah,
that was a picture of your village where you grew up.
Yes, yes. So we have a model moms that helps in, we have a malnutrition situation. So they make porridge and as well assist to women who are pregnant because they percor long distance to go to hospitals. So there are these rodeo moms from their own communities. They help each other in their communities. And as well, Gorongosa National Park builds hospitals to the communities nearby. Of course, from famous grown coffee on Mount Gorongosa, and it's a really cute picture.
Starbucks is going to be really happy. They're starting them young on coffee.
Yes. So we have a coffee program that started 3 years ago on Mount Gorongosa, and they plant coffee plant and as well native trees, so to reinforce the Mount Gorongosa. And
so just to pause you for a
yes.
second, so you're growing coffee, a commercial crop within the national park, right? And that helps the village.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. And we have our brand. We used to sell in the United States. We have Elephant Never Forget, Girls Around the World, and Speak for the Trees. And we also have a honey project, and we had honey project because we have a human-wildlife conflict. You can see there is this forest out there. It's a national park, and where there's a boat, it's a community called Vinho. And our elephant ecologist, Dominique Gonçalves, she implemented the project in our national park to help mitigate the conflict. And with that, we train as well women in this project. In all projects, we have women's because we want to be spread equal opportunities as well. So, and then we have honey. We sell all over to Mozambique, and it's a sustainability to the community as well.
So, are you seeing success with the bees keeping the elephants?
Elephants are very smart.
Okay.
So we now implementing a lot. We have a chili fence, we have zinc plate fence, we have a many fans, so we learn with the animal as we go.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good.
So every challenge is we learn with the challenges.
Good.
Yeah. And we have as well girls' education. So there are girls' clubs. They learn a lot of math skill, Portuguese, and a lot of other skills they learn in the school, in the club actually, sorry. And after that, the park as well helped them in their higher education. So now there are about 4,000 girls in school. And as well, we started preschool last year. And preschool, there are kids 4 to 5. So they, before they start classes, you can see in the plate, they have porridge made by Rodel moms. After they eat porridge and they go to class, they learn math, Portuguese, environmental skills, and everything. So we started preschool because we think for many changes in the world, we need to start from the bottom. And the kids or the younger generation are the solution to us to start early.
Yep.
And we also have women rangers. There's our first female rangers in the park, I think 2017, and this was a part of the Mozambique history because it was first park training female rangers, and now we have parks like Zinavi that also implemented. They have female rangers as well. So they're very serious women, you can see. We are strong.
I don't know that I'd want to mess with them.
Definitely not. As well, we have Mozambican women scientists. So we have Gorongosa National Park is the only national park that has master education in conservation inside of the park. So we also have these Mozambicans from all over the country. They come, they learn, and then they are spread to all national parks around Mozambique to work. So we want, and majority of employees of the park, 98% are Mozambican, and 2% are from outside. And we want to 2030, 50% of our employees to be equally women and men, 50-50.
So I think there's a really important point there that connects to what we're doing here, right? Which is the park couldn't exist without the community. And I would argue the same thing about the Florida Wildlife Corridor, that we can't be successful without the community itself embracing and owning that. So how did that happen? I mean, was it, talk a little bit about how the community was involved in kind of the post-war redevelopment of, you have another word for it, for the park.
So our the greater Gorongosa, when the Car Foundation started, the restoration project started, we started introducing animals, but we were having poaching, and we were like, people need help. Why they are poaching? That's the first question. Why they are poaching? Before judging them, why they are poaching?
Right.
They, they don't have food. They need to sell the animals so that they send their kids to school because it's far. So there are several questions we started seeing and including them in our programs, learn with them. There are several values. When you talk with people, they say, during my ancestors, we were not allowed to sleep in the bush. But now they do. That's why we have elephants coming in our communities because we are not following the rules. So there are certain cultures, approaches that we see and we learn with the people and say they have a knowledge of what it is to conserve, to preserve something. So we develop some just technical skills because they have everything. They know everything. So that's why we include people to work with us, and they are vigilant now. So when there's a pangolin poaching, they're the ones calling rangers like, oh, we are suspicious, there's something here. So we are working together now.
So engaging the community
Yes.
and finding out what they want, right?
Yes.
So let's go to the last slide as we start to wrap up here, which is, again, just amazing. And I already told Gabby that I'm going to come visit when she returns back to Mozambique. So you left home, quote unquote, to go to Boise State University. They have a partnership with Gorongosa Park, long partnership. So when you go back, Gabby, what are you going to take back? I mean, what do you want to bring back home from your learnings?
I want to take experience, skills, and really know how to do things. You can have a knowledge, but if you don't know how to implement it, you'll be in trouble. Like I'm learning, doing internship a lot, learn how to do things because I want to help my community. Cannot change the whole world, but yes, I can change one person in my community, a girl, a boy. Even now I see when I get home, they're all over, I want to see a snow picture, I want to see this, so it's mesmerizing. So I think we can, in a world where you can be anything, you can choose to be kind and help people.
Agreed, 100%. So in the last minute, you have a captive audience here. What message or guidance do you have for them?
I think the only message I have is to let's work together, love one another. I think spending time and not arguing a lot. Imagine if tomorrow there's no more climate crisis. How do you want it to be seen? How your family, any members, what kind of reference that you want to leave here on Earth? I think it's very important to collaborate, live in peace. If we want to, I don't know, just finish with the climate crisis, we need to work together. It's not easy. It's a big problem that we're having, yes.
I think that's a great message to leave with everybody. Gabby, thank you for taking time.
Thank you.
Thank you all.